Okay, so we'll continue on with this verse. Forget the endless materialistic pursuits and learn to accept whatever comes. So we talked about that. A precious human rebirth is gained this once. Do not let it slip through your fingers. I urge you, use it meaningfully. Apply it to the spiritual path. So one question often comes with the precious human life where it says it's gained this once. Is that true? Is that literal? Because if it is, we're in big trouble. Yeah. So it's not literal. It isn't that you only get a precious human life one time. But it's emphasized that way because it is so rare that it's as if you only get it once, you know. I mean, that it's so difficult to get all the conditions together to really have a precious human life. Yeah, so don't count on just sitting back and assuming you're going to get another one, and it can, you know, in a straight line from now until enlightenment. They're really saying it's very, very difficult to get. And if you look at all the conditions that are necessary to have a precious human life, when we go through the 10 freedoms and the 8 freedoms and the 10 fortunes, and you learn about each condition and then the causes for each one, and then you check in this life, am I creating those so that I can have this kind of life in the future? You know, it's, well, am I? So, first of all, just to get a human rebirth, and a human rebirth is not the same as a precious human rebirth. They're totally different, you know, because, I mean, there's over 7 billion human rebirths on this planet. But precious human rebirths, not so many. Because the precious human rebirth, you have to have the 10 freedoms, 8 freedoms and 10 fortunes. Okay, just regular human rebirth, you don't need all of that. Yeah, you just need a human body. Okay, but the thing that makes a precious human rebirth so unique is, you know, we're born at a time when the Buddha's taught, when the lineage is still there, where we have access to teachers, yeah, where there's still a Sangha community, yeah, where we have all of our food and clothing and material needs and medicine. You know, we're not living in an impoverished place. And even more than all of that, the fact that we're interested in the Dharma. You know, when I look around, I see that that is a very, very rare condition to be interested in the Dharma. That, you know, many people, and living here is a very good example of it. You know, how people will come, or they go to a class in town for a week or 2 weeks, they learn something, they say how beneficial it is, how much they love it, and then, you know, something happens in their life and they're off doing something, and maybe those 2 meditation classes they attended is the only contact they have with Buddhism this entire life. So those people don't have a precious human rebirth. Yeah, because they don't have the interest in the Dharma. Yeah. And we even see many people who practice over years and who learn a lot, and then something happens in their life, you know, then even though they've been a Dharma student for years and years, they go off and they start doing something else. Or, and I'm not even talking about monastics, lay people who are serious Dharma students, and then, you know, go off and do something else. They just get distracted. You know, if you get married, then you can't practice. If you get divorced, you can't practice. When you have children, you can't practice. When your children grow up, you also can't practice. You know, there's always something that happens, you know, that occupies your time. And there isn't the the connection, the deep connection inside the mind to make Dharma the foremost thing in their life, because the appearance of this life is so strong and everything about this life seems so real and so serious and so important that, of course you want to take care of all of it. Next life doesn't seem so important. It's like, how do we know it even exists? And if it exists, it happens later. We have plenty of time now. Yeah, so this is what we think, this is what we believe just commonly in the world. We think we're all going to live until 100 years old, and we're going to be, even at 100, perfectly healthy. Our health will be perfect, it won't impede our practice at all. Our mental clarity will be more than it was when we were young. So, we'll be wiser, smarter, easier to practice when we're 100 years old. That's what we think, isn't it? We don't think, well, I'm X years old and it's downhill from now. But however old we are, it is downhill from now. Yeah. So we don't think like that, and realize just the brevity of our life, the rarity of having the conditions that we have, and even our physical health, we take it for granted, and oh well, okay, even if I get sick, I'll still be able to practice. Great. Well, look how well we're able to practice right now. One day, you work outside a little bit too long, and you're not even sick, but you're so exhausted you can't come to meditation in the evening. And then we think when we're older and when we're really sick, we're going to have the energy and mental clarity to practice when we can't even do it when we're tired now. Yeah. So we, to look at just the rarity that we have, and to ask ourselves, am I really taking advantage of this? Am I creating the cause to have this opportunity again? And what are the benefits of having this opportunity? Yeah. And if you don't see the benefits, if you don't value the Dharma, if you don't think that having a good rebirth is important, if you don't believe in liberation and enlightenment, then you're not going to have any impetus to make use of this precious human life, except, to gain pleasure and fame and approval and love and be successful according to worldly standards. Yeah? So it's something really to seriously think about.